Can someone let me know if we're live on YouTube? Are we live on YouTube? It says we're live here.
You are definitely live.
Okay. This is the patience, patience, patience. So a lot of people ask me on these streams, sometimes we take some unconventional trades, like why are we going long to a previous area of daily resistance, et cetera, et cetera. For me, the weekly momentum is still bullish. And what I look at is market structure. So I continue to see higher lows being formed in the market. And that to me is an indication that the trend or the momentum will continue as long as we continue to form higher lows. And so I kind of tell myself, as long as we don't break the London session low, this thing is going to continue to push higher. How much higher? I'm not really sure. That's where I use my technical analysis to find previous areas of structure, like the previous session's highs, as well as daily key levels that I'm finding on the higher timeframes. That's kind of how I can find targets to the upside. But for me, it's a pretty simple math. It's basically, as long as these lows are continuing to get higher and these highs are getting higher, I have nothing else to assume besides it's on a bullish trend, and a trend in motion will stay in motion unless the structure gets violated. All right, that's Chart Addicts' third law of trading motion. A trend in motion will remain in motion unless structure gets violated. You guys can take that one with you to the bank. Come on, baby, come on. We're gonna break or we're not gonna break. All right, there we go. I'm up about 60 points. 60 points is about 600 pips, depending on your broker. 60 points in terms of risk and reward. We've officially hit the 2-to-1 mark. So you can close your entire position at a 2-to-1, or you can close half, leave the other half running and break even. And if a runner does continue to go, you can milk the rest of your money just off of the position that you leave. If you're happy with the 2-to-1 risk and reward, you can close the trade and secure your profits. Personally, I'm going to secure partial profits, but I am going to leave a position running.
Yeah, the way it's closing right now, I can see it breaking that daily zone and then maybe closing back below later in the session.
My dude, you said it, not me. I agree.
There's a serious bullish momentum on the lower time frame. Fat wick on the 30-minute.
Yes, sir. Actually, this is where I got to get back on. And it could still flip. Like I said, very early in the session. Let's not forget which pair we're dealing with here. However,
huge wick with momentum.
Man, oh man, oh man. This is London session high or low, actually. So this was the London session low, in which case I probably should adjust this. Huh. Would you look at that? So here's the London session low. Here's the London session high. Okay, this blue box right here. Price retested for shorts, came down to the bottom, retested for longs. Because we are still applying bullish momentum for the week and still creating higher highs and higher lows, this led me to believe that we're going to continue to form higher lows and to push up. So when price respected the London session low and then closed above the pre-session consolidation, that was my entry to go long. A lot of folks don't like to look at the obvious. And if you think about it, what's the most important thing? What's the most important anchor that you have? It's the previous price closures of the sessions. And so if you guys ever want a good backtesting tool, go back and look at your pair. Look at some very important metrics like the weekly range, the daily range. How many pips does it move on an average week? How many pips did it move yesterday? How many pips, has it moved today so far? Look at the session breakovers. Like, how does price behave in between sessions from one session to the next? How does price behave during London? How does price behave during New York? I'm going to put New York session in green. I'll show you guys how the sessions are split up. This was New York session yesterday. Okay, what is going on here? We'll do it in green. And let's send this thing to the back. All right, so you can see blue is a London session and green is New York. During New York yesterday, we had a massive expansion, higher low, and then price basically stalled at the end of the session. What happened during Tokyo and Australia? Price basically just went sideways and created this BS range right here. All right. And then what happened during London? London came up, retested the New York session highs, dropped down, retested the lows, and then went and created these higher lows. What happened during New York today? So where's New York Open? New York Open is starting from this candle. Price consolidated, and then it went up to fake to hit yesterday's New York session highs before we closed below. We ended up coming all the way down to retest the low of London session, and then now we're pushing for a continuation. And so that might not be very obvious to a lot of you guys just looking at this, because I know there's a lot of sessions, a lot of colors, whatever it is. But when you go and do this on your own pair and you start to segment the sessions like this, what you'll start to notice is that the same zones are getting hit over and over and over. Same zones get hit over and over and over. And yesterday was the same deal. Roy, how did we buy? By the way, guys, I'm still holding this entry from yesterday. I'm still holding this entry from yesterday. Don't sleep. But there was the London session consolidation. Then we had the pre-New York, or sorry, this was the London session, pre-New York, break and retest of pre-New York, support at the London session lows, break above. Where is the retest? London session highs, retest of the trend. Price respects it. So right now, if price breaks above and comes down to retest the New York session high as support, then that'll mean that we're going to break through and continue this trend. Make sense? A little bit of education here in between the live trading. Guys, I'm going to open up my TP just in case for my runner. I'm going to open up my TP, open TPs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trail my stop loss. I'm going to put my stops back below this resistance because there's still a chance that price comes to test the resistance before we go. And so I can either wait for the pullback and then move my stop loss higher. But because I'm seeing some profits, I want to protect them. I'm going to move my stop loss a little bit higher and trail it. But what I'll do is leave my take profit open just in case this thing does run. And let's actually find a more accurate target. Guys, we're at daily resistance. So for real, if you've seen some profits, don't get greedy. Make sure that you're taking at least something off the table. We are at daily resistance. Let's just not, let's be very clear about that. Oh my God. I'm drawing out my fibs here. What I see is that we had a massive expansion and then a retracement to the 88.6. And then we've gone from the 88.6 all the way up to the 23.6. So this is the move, from 88 to 23. That honestly was the trade. We're a little bit late on the trade, so we're trying to basically catch, we caught the 61 to 23.6, but everything after this is not guaranteed. So if you guys haven't taken partial profits, I would definitely secure some and let the rest ride and break even. So instead of me going through my topics, let me know if you guys have anything you want me to talk about. Let me know if you guys have any questions on crypto, the recession, trading, any charts. You guys talk to me and we'll be able to go through. So we've broken above the previous structural high and we continue to make support. As long as this candle doesn't close below these wicks, this still has the potential to move up and push higher. So we're still creating higher lows and higher highs. And so for now, US 30 is continuing to the upside. I want to sell at 32,700 for US 30, but it all depends on how this candlestick closes over the next 4 hours. All right, so price rejected with a massive liquidity grab to the upside, and so buys to me are no longer valid. I mean, there still is a chance if it holds this support, but just by looking at this, we're creating where we had a massive bearish sell-off, and then price wasn't able to close above the London session consolidation. Unless this current candle flips on the 15-minute, it flips and closes back above this 467, then I don't really see this thing continuing. So it's all about being mindful of that 67 zone and the 26 zone. If we close below the 26 zone, sellers are going to continue to take the market for the day. If we can flip this candle flips around and closes back above the 70, or maybe not this candle, but the next candle closes above the 70, then we can actually have a bullish continuation. As of right now, my break even got hit, so I'm no longer in this trade. If price continues to hold, I may consider re-entering this trade. If price continues to hold. But for now, my break even did get hit for that long. All right, I'm going to re-enter. I'm going to re-enter long positions. We're still respecting the support. I'll give it one more try. See if we can get a push up. Yeah. Another minor rejection here. Let's see if we get a close above. That's all we need is a close above. And the cool thing is every time I do this, every time I take a buy at that zone, when it pushes up, I can still take partial profits off the table. And even if my break even keeps getting hit, I can make money just off these wick rejections. That's kind of how NASDAQ moves. You'll still get like 30 to 40 points. You can close out of half your position or whatever it is, or close one of the positions that you entered. If the rest of it keeps going, great. You're having an amazing day. If it comes back to hit your break even, you could re-enter a few times and yeah, just sort of scalp that zone. So what we need now is a little bit of patience to see if price is going to push higher for us. And give me a second, y'all. I'm going to go grab a quick drink. I'll be right back. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. I'll answer them as soon as I get back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. What's up, y'all? How we doing? How we looking over here? Still holding. Barely. Barely hanging on. All right, it's breaking through. A little
It's
bit
like
more
bears
patience.
acceptance.
No, I just need a little bit more patience, just a little bit more patience just to see if it's going to close under or if it's going to wick back above. Yeah, bears definitely stepped in. This rejection of the New York session highs, this is kind of giving it away. But I'm really just looking at the basics. I'm just looking at lows, and that price is still forming higher lows. And as long as we were respecting this higher low, that we were going to continue up for a double top. I don't think we made it all the way. A few pips shy of that double top. Price came back to hit break even, re-entered the market. Prices, I am currently on drawdown on the second entry. And if we violate, well, actually my stop loss just got hit. If we stay above the London session lows and we don't break, I'm telling you guys, this thing could still push up. If it does close below, if we do break below the London session lows, then we would just wait for a pullback and then we can short the market off the same areas of structure. On the 30-minute, still holding. The 15-minute closed above. So I think now we're going to see a bit of a retracement here. The thing is, we still closed above the London session lows. So we're still respecting the support. Until we break below, then we can wait for a retest and start shorting to the downside. Some people at home was like, "You guys, this guy's crazy going long right here." We're still creating higher lows, people. That's really the whole gist of it, is that we're still creating higher lows. And so until we break below the London session barrier, this floor here, this thing could still push to the upside. I'm not going to take this entry, but potentially there's a second entry. If this thing breaks back above the support, that's going to be the last touch. But it's kind of just on the 15-minute, looking at the previous area of support and resistance and just being like, okay, since we haven't closed below, we haven't established a bearish shift in momentum yet. We're still creating higher highs and we're still respecting higher lows. So by definition, we haven't shifted the momentum just yet. Yeah, the 1 hour and 30-minute wicked. They wicked the London session lows. They're breaking above the pre-session highs. A closure above the pre-session highs, and this thing is flying. Oof, there it is. How many points do you trail your stop? I don't do it by points. I mostly just do it by retests. So right now, if I had entered a long position at 422, or if I do re-enter a long position at 422, which some of you guys might have, then what I would do is I would put my stop loss below that zone. All right, wait for it to come down and retest, and then I would put it at the retest. Once it closes above this resistance, 467, I'll wait for a pullback. And then once I see a rejection, I can move my stop loss below that zone. So the rule of thumb is wait for the pullback and then put your stop at the pullback. Or sorry, just slightly below the pullback. Do we need to be a Chart Addicts member to sign up for Enigma? No, you don't. They're separate services. We have different traders doing both. So the traders that trade on Chart Addicts and the traders that call signals for Enigma are different individuals. So you don't have to be a member. Chart Addicts is really a place for if you're looking for personal coaching, if you're looking to actually learn how to trade, Chart Addicts is the place for you. If you're just looking for trade alerts and trade signals, then Enigma is the place to go. All right, third time's the charm. This is an entry if anybody wants to take it. Is now or never. We had a break back above the pre-session lows, and now we're retesting it as support. I think this is an area where we can use, to basically push up to the next zone, which is 472. So there's about 40 points here in that range to get to the upside. Waiting a few minutes for this candle closure would probably be best because you do want to see this candle closure above 430. If it closes below 430, not really a good sign. Above 430 would be great for re-entries. So I'm going to stay up and monitor this in the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, it looks like bears are pushing pretty aggressive. Like I said, if we close below the London session low, which is at 12,380, if we close below it, then we can start to look for pullbacks for shorts. Until then, there's still an opportunity for price to push to the upside. And that's kind of what we're watching here. Here's a more simplified view. I measured the impulsive trend from yesterday. We had a slight 23.6 retracement, massive push up for the longs. Price consolidated. Price broke up and is consolidating, made a higher high, and now is retesting this floor. So that's kind of how I was seeing it. Price could end up just breaking back through. If it's due for a retracement, it's due for a retracement. That's just the way the market works. But that was the original idea for the longs. We are at the 78.6 on the higher time frame. I know it's a little bit messy, but we are at the 78.6, so we can see if the daily candle closes like this, y'all, then we're gonna get a nice push to the downside. But I just think that price is stalling because we've hit a significant level of selling. Well, sellers are stepping in. So get back to the smaller time frames, wait for price to break, and then we can look for positions on the other side. Yeah, that's a dud. Sheesh. All right, well, that's basically it, y'all. I'm not going to take another entry. I took those first two trades. I managed to pull out some partials. I got a bunch of break evens hit. I lost one trade. I'm sitting at, if I hadn't taken the loss, I would have made 1,200. But because of that loss, I'm sitting at around $700. So that's kind of, where I'm at for the day. I won't take another trade. The direction is bearish. Well, it's not really bearish because we're still, we still have a low and a high and a higher high. And so this thing could still respect the double bottom right here and end up pushing up. But just based on how aggressive the momentum is moving and the fact that this candlestick right here engulfed all of these previous candlesticks, I'm now expecting the momentum to shift a little bit. So then we can wait for a pullback at 12,420 and short. I personally won't be taking that move. I would just much rather come back tomorrow and try again. Before we get off, I do want to go through the other pairs to kind of show you guys what we're looking at. US 30 was creating higher highs, higher lows, and whoever that is, that's not muted. They have higher highs and higher lows. So, I mean, price creates a higher low, this thing will still push. I'd look at the 31,400 as the next region of interest, 31,400. This could be an area where price could continue from, or if it just gets caught at 31,600. So if it drops here, 31,400, pushes up to 31,600 and gets caught, that could be a retest area for shorts. Really hoping Euro USD makes it back up to this previous area, 1.03 or 1.04. If we can get a pull back to this area up here, we can wait for a reversal pattern and then go short on Euro USD. GJ finally pulling back, I'd like to see a retracement down to about 163 and a half, 163.5. Once 163.5 gets retested and we continue to create higher lows, that's when we can take the market long again. So if you're a GJ trader, I would personally look at the 61 area, this previous area of support, resistance, support, see if price can pull back. If price doesn't break the 38.2 right here, this area of support, it could push, but most likely we're going to get a retracement down 163 and a half, and then we can go long again. Let's take a look at the DXY. DXY has been retracing. And so that's why if you guys are trading GU and EU, you've been seeing a little bit of a bullish retracement over the past few days. Now that price continuing to the down, or now that price has started to form a floor, start to create a little bit of a rejection, we're either going to retest and continue to, push down a little bit, or if price continues to hold this 106.5 region as a floor, we're going to push up to the 110 area. So that means that GU and EU long-term are still bearish. So wait for that pullback to finish forming, and then I would continue trading the direction, which is shorts. Bitcoin's not done doing its thing. So if you guys are planning on picking up more Bitcoin, 8K, 10K, 12K, those are potential areas that I'm watching for price to hit. I'm just looking at this to monitor. So if I do take a few trades and they don't go in my direction, I'm just looking to watch the market react from level to level to see if there's a potential traded opportunity. Call me crazy. There's a low right here. This is the 61%. We could get a second touch here and a push. Call me crazy. Or price could retrace all the way down to this region. So those are my two options. Price is either going to hit 250 or it's going to get stuck at the 320, 330 level and then push up. So those would be two zones. What we were looking at here was the London session low and then the Tokyo session low. Price did close below. And so now we can wait for a pullback or a deeper pullback and trade the continuation of the trend. Personally, like I said, not taking any more trades for the day, but keeping my eye on the overall structure keeps me sharp. First, to recognize what what I should have done. One, this candle here, that's what started to indicate to me that bears had most of the pressure. And so the re-entry, that's just something that was very risky after seeing that candlestick. But the trades that we were taking before, the retests of that pre-session consolidation, I do agree with those. And I did manage to make a bunch of money just off of those wicks. And so there is a way to make money off the market, even if you're wrong in the direction. The key is not to force your hand too much so you don't give the profits back. Major key. So those are basically all the pairs. If you guys have any pairs that I did not cover that you guys want me to go through, just let me know. All right, so let's see what happens. Ooh, okay. Unemployment claims dropped 830. We saw a massive whipsaw. Price faked bullish to try to convince buyers to go to the upside. And then the unemployment claims number came out higher. So in case you guys don't know what this is the number of new people that applied for unemployment insurance in the last month. So the June numbers were 251,000 new people applied for unemployment, which means that the unemployment issue out there is getting a bit worse. The manufacturing index came out way negative. This is kind of like a sentiment index for manufacturers. And so if it comes out negative, their confidence in their ability to produce is pretty low. Euro, the main refinancing rate just got raised to 50%, even though they were expecting a 25% move. This should be bullish. This should be bullish for euros, but I'll have to go through and watch the monetary or read the monetary policy statement to see. The only thing else is there's NZD news. It's tentative, which means it's all day. And then tomorrow, what do we have? PMI, bunch of euro news from manufacturing. Germany, obviously largest manufacturer in the Eurozone, cars, GBP, and then retail sales for CAD. So I don't see a lot of USD news tomorrow. I guess it was just the unemployment claims that came out negative. Alrighty. Anybody have questions? Questions about the trades we took? Questions about ways that we could have made some money trading? Anything that you guys saw during the stream today that you guys might need some more clarity on? If I join Chart Addicts, do I get personal coaching? Yes, you do. You get up to 5 personal coaching sessions a month for 99 bucks. So if you need a coach to basically look at your trading, or you want to talk to somebody about your trading, get someone to look at your charts, your performance, your results, anything like that, this is going to be the place for you. It's for folks who are actually trying to get into the trading. If you think about it, we're kind of like a gym. You pay 99 a month for the gym, but you also get 5 free personal training sessions. You get all these other perks with it. We have a sauna, basically we have a sauna, a pool, all the amenities in there. And so that's kind of what Chart Addicts is all about. You kind of pay this one flat fee, but you get all of these different perks that come with it. Lots of imbalances to fill on US 31 hour. How do I get into the weekly live streams? If you're a Chart Addicts member, then you'll be in the Zoom call and we're just basically chatting in here. You can type in the chat, ask questions, raise your hand, unmute yourself, do whatever you want to do. Non-members, we're going to be here every Thursday, so you guys can check us out on YouTube. We'll be streaming live. Do you recommend scalping small account to grow your balance or hold trades longer to grow it? It depends on your personality. You can grow a small account in multiple ways. The question is, what's your personality and what's your trading style? If your trading style is very conservative, then, or not conservative, but if you're like more of a, let's say like a patient person, and you have the emotional bandwidth to hold trades and things like that, and you have the patience for it, the strategy allows for it, then hold your trades. If you're a high win rate person, or your personality is just more of like a scalping type of individual, then just cash in your wins. What I would do is look at your results and basically ask yourself, am I closing too early on my trades and they're running in my direction, or am I holding them too long? All right, I'm always in blue, but whenever I come back to my charts, they've reversed on me. Which one of those sounds more like you? If you're constantly entering the right trade and then the trade goes against you, the right trade meaning like you're in profit. So for example, we caught the wick rejection. I was in profit like what, 60 or 70 points. And so I was in profit 60 points and profit 60 points and profit 60 points. The reason that I take partial profits is because the way that my strategy is I'm in blues a lot of the time. The question is, am I going to get a follow through? And so if I always take profits when I'm in blues, for my strategy, I will end up more profitable. However, there are other people that we coach and individuals who have a different trading style. And whenever they close a trade, they come back a few hours later and it moved 1, 2, 300 pips in their direction. And they should have held. And so the real key is, if you look at your performance, you'll be able to tell which one sounds more like you based on which one of those two issues you're having. Does that make sense? Alrighty, y'all. If there's no more questions, catch us on Monday. Every single Monday, I'll be doing a live stream to go through fundamentals. So basically all the news events going on in Forex and just in crypto and in financial news in general. So if you guys are tired of, the world moving so fast and you're not able to keep up, you guys can just show up to our stream. My job is to basically put everything together in an easy to understand way. And so if you guys are having trouble understanding some of the fundamentals, how they play into the charts, or just what's happening in financial, in the financial world, what's happening in the crypto world, NFTs, which areas are going to be, attractive in the future and which areas are starting to die out. If you guys are interested in any of that, catch us every single Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time on our YouTube channel. If you guys are on YouTube right now and haven't hit subscribe, make sure to hit subscribe so you guys are notified when we do those streams. Make sure to hit the like button so that you guys can keep track of these streams every week. Every Thursday, we live stream trading. This Thursday didn't go our way, but this is our 75th week in a row. Give it up. 75th week in a row. And 9 times out of 10, we have a great Thursday live stream. We make money and we get to walk away. Sometimes we try for a few trades and it doesn't happen. That's the nature of trading. Keep your losses small. Make sure that proper risk management is your priority. And as long as you guys do that, I'll see you on the next stream and we'll be able to make back these profits and keep the show on the road. If you're a Chart Addicts member, obviously we'll continue trading throughout the week and find new opportunities.